It's Zing, aka UniversalDoc, and I recently saw a video from a YouTube channel called Batman the Farter that went through the political standings of various cereal mascots. After watching this video, I just had to book an appointment for therapy, just out of pure rage. And while we're waiting to hear back from them, I decided to instead do my own political compass of cereal mascots, just to show how incorrect and silly he is. Make sure to watch his video too, because I'm going to be referencing it a little bit in this video. Let's begin, and let's start with the spots that I agree with. First, the Diggum Frog from Honey Smacks. He's fairly accurate, so I'll put him in the same spot. I never had Honey Smacks with the frog in question on it, so I really have no opinion. Crackle. Crackle's also fairly close to the original compass. My only problem is his reasoning. I mean, Crackle, he's ahead of the game, you know. He's trying to shut down Snap and Pop's unionizing because it would just slow down the production of the Rice Krispie cereal that, like, no one eats. My other problem is that he called Crackle Snap. If you want me to take you seriously, at least use the Rice Krispie Fillers' right names. I mean, it's literally on their hats. Honeycomb's Sugar Bear is also pretty accurate. I mean, he's a bear, so just put him right here. Now, so far, we can see that the new Toucan Sam is humanity's greatest mistake, until we somehow stumble across something that's worse. I would place Frankenberry lower. Also, Frankenstein isn't even Russian.
And, Frankenstein is a Russian thing, so.
I'm not even going to go into that. Like, my veins are just beginning to pop from so many mistakes made in this video. Trix the rabbit is pretty accurate too. I mean, I shouldn't even need to explain it. He's like an uber communist. Tony the Tiger, I mean, other than his furry controversy, I mean, he is the most mainstream pro-establishment cereal mascot that we have. He definitely voted for Trump. He hates cinnamon and apple just because they're obviously blazing it. We're not looking. He really wants everyone to be in shape, but then feeds some cereal that will probably give you an ulcer from consuming just so much pure sugar. Definitely used Twitter too much at one point. That's gotten him into some bad situations. Quisp, I have never even heard of until I watched the video. Cinnamon Squares, pure anarchy. I mean, it's every square for themselves. I mean, they will punch a hole through your chest just to see if there's cereal inside. It's just absolute chaos. Now to contain my anger, we're going to correct his mistakes and add on some new faces. My biggest problem with this whole video was his reasoning behind Lucky, the leprechaun. I mean, Lucky hates having his cereal taken away from him. I mean, he's a leprechaun. I mean, he's naturally rebellious and hates authority. However, Lucky doesn't care about economics at all. I mean, he hides his pot of gold under his mattress, then plants a pipe bomb in a Protestant's car. I mean, he definitely had an Irish jig when Thatcher died, and then crossed over his rainbow just to piss on her grave. So I would not place Lucky here. I'll move him all the way over to this side, right here. Very far left to libertarian. Barry the Bee? His name is Buzz. Barry the Bee is Jerry Seinfeld. Buzz is the pro-state KGB operative ready to work for his idea of a common good. Buzz is literally a bee. If there are any creatures on this forsaken planet that are communist, it's bees. I mean, he hates wasps and identifies them at the breadline, and then uses his Soviet-era technology to stop thieves. So I'm placing him here. Snap and Pop, right here in the center, same place. Just workers who get paid nothing to make bad cereal. I mean, they want to form a union, but as I said before, Crackle's like a megacorp capitalist. Now for the Raisin Bran Sun. He is the sun. The sun has no concern for our worldly affairs. I mean, it's his world, we're just in orbit. I mean, the most he's ever been political was when he showed up on that one Nickelodeon show. Old Toucan Sam, I mean, if old Toucan Sam is dad vibes, they're liberal dad vibes. Probably really cares about animal conservation. But he's also a centrist. He doesn't really care about politics. Cinnamon and the apple, I can't even remember what his name is. Should be fairly obvious. Cinnamon and the apple are literally Cheech and Chong. Mr. T's placement just infuriated me. Mr. T is not a Nazi. Mr. T is nowhere. He is ascended. I mean, I've done my fair share of research for this video. I mean, I know my Mr. T lore. Some things that Mr. T said is a bit confusing. He definitely hates the sugar bear. He just wants to be Mr. T. In my experience, Mr. T is the ideal cereal when it comes to politics. He is dead center. Steve Urkel-O's, I just didn't think that they fit here. He believes in order, and I do also think that he's left-leaning. I mean, he's well-dressed. I mean, he got the rainbow suspenders and everything. If Mr. T wasn't on this list, then Urkel would be right here. And compared to Mr. T, he's over here. So, I mean, I'm willing to bet that he's just going to do the Urkel. He's going to pull up his pants, bend his knees, stick out his pelvis all the way up to moderate left right there. King Vitamin makes no sense on the Farter's video. He's literally a king. The last thing that he wants or likes is libertarians. He's all the way up there. He's the definition of authoritarian. For Booberry, I move Booberry right here. Because, I mean, he's dead, so he's probably really old. He's definitely got some outdated views, if you know what I'm talking about, but he is still a ghost, so, like, right here. So when it comes to Chip the Wolf, I wanted to move him down more, like right around here. I don't know, he's literally an animal, so I had to keep him close with a few other contenders that are in this area. On a side note, this was the only image of Chip the Wolf I could find that wasn't one where he's just on the box of cereal. This was the one that was the least offensive. I don't know why people find enjoyment from drawing animals from cereal boxes of all things, doing heinous acts. So speaking of other contenders, Crazy Craving, he's just primitive by nature. I mean, he infects his victims to turn into his own species, so he definitely doesn't have any regards for ethics. He targets children too, proves my point even further, so I'm placing him here. And when it comes to the Flintstone cereal, I don't understand the logic behind putting Fred Flintstone right here at the bottom of Libertarian, then putting Barry all the way up here. They're both cavemen. I mean, so I just group them together and just put them Libertarian all the way in the center. All they really know is dinosaurs and running the work. But one of my biggest gripes with this video, Captain Crunch, is just such a huge mistake. Batman the Farter failed to realize that Captain Crunch is not a naval officer. He's a pirate. Pirates absolutely hate any authority. This was one of my biggest problems with this terrible video. So, right there. Next, we have the rooster, not the chicken, the rooster from Kellogg's. His name is Cornelius, by the way, not the Kellogg's chicken. So, I don't know anyone who says that Kellogg's cornflakes is their favorite cereal. That's something that your mom buys at the store to get everyone to try, but no one can be bothered to even open the box. So it gets thrown at the back of the pantry, never to be opened, up until your country turns into a communist regime and you have to eat it during a famine, and it's really stale. So, yeah, like right there. Count Alfred Chocula and the Fruit Brute. I put them in this similar spot just for different reasons. Alfred Chocula is a vampire. I mean, he's been asleep for a while. I don't think he really cares about any sort of left-leaning government. He's ancient. I mean, he lived during the time of King Vitamin. He'll wake up one day eating his own cereal and die because bats aren't normally subjected to eating chocolate in the wild. As for the Fruit Brute, same sort of situation, but this time he's a brute. I mean, what else is he gonna do? He's gonna do as he pleases. He is his own authority. He's a brute. Next we have Sonny the Cuckoo Bird, because he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I guess. I mean, I think Sonny is only that cuckoo because he doesn't believe in medication. He's been prescribed medication from his doctor to help him ease his mental issues, but he just doesn't take them. He thinks it'll give him like autism or something. so all he does is spend his day chasing children for cereal. I didn't know until I started doing research for this analysis video, but apparently Pop's cereal had a mascot named Big Yella at some point. He was a cowboy. I had no clue this was a thing because I always thought that the Toothosaur or the Pop's Gazelle creatures were mascots. So I don't know if you guys know much about cowboys, but I'm just placing them where cowboys normally would be. Apparently Pop-Tart cereal existed. This is Milton the Toaster. While finding this, I blew the rooftop off of something crazier than Crazy Craving himself that we need to talk about, and it involves a lot of characters on this compass, including Milton. Well, apparently Funko Pop had a line of cereal vinyl figures. I mean, I don't really know anyone who's like a cereal enthusiast who would even bother buying a Milton the Toaster Funko Pop. I mean, I don't understand who's buying these, but besides that, I do have that vibe from Milton, just based on this picture, that he probably lives in the home of a 1950s American nuclear family. So I'm just going to put him right here. For my last few spots, they're all the same cereal. I wanted to analyze the evolution of the frosted mini wheat. So starting with the old Mr. Mini Wheat, I'm going to be honest, this guy scares me. I wouldn't be surprised if I met him during a trip to Argentina and I saw a suspicious tattoo on the back of his frosted neck of a certain symbol that I won't specify. He definitely catcalls people. If I ever entered his bar, he'd get all the other frosted mini wheats to curb stomp me. So, yeah. Now, for probably the best of the three, we have the frosted mini wheat that we all know and love. This dude right here. He's the status quo. I mean, I like this guy. He's definitely a conservative, but he doesn't push it. He reminds me of simpler, better times when the new frosted mini wheat never existed. And speaking of that new frosted mini wheat, everything about the new frosted mini wheat is a mistake. His art style marks the beginning for the downfall of humanity. I mean, his art style just screams liberal college student. So I think that's all the ones I decided to put on this compass. Let me know if you guys agree, because I definitely don't agree with Bat in the Farter. This is an infinitely better compass. So, like, subscribe, rate 5 stars, send it to your friends. I don't know what you guys are going to do with this information. Do as you will. So, yeah, I think that's it. See ya.
Bernie Sanders, that old communist. And I said something about Michael Bloomberg. I asked a basic question. Basic question was, why exactly would Michael Bloomberg lie about some woman? And all of a sudden I'm off MSNBC, but I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of glad to get out of there. It's kind of plays with a bunch of nut jobs. I mean, like growing on the tree. All the craziness going on over there. Frankly, I'm kind of glad to be